Hello guys and welcome to today's episode. In this video we will solve the problem Ultra Fast Mathematician. We will use Pytest as a testing framework. If you're interested on setting up Pytest, I will display you a link where you can see a video about it. As always, I will start with reading the problem to you. Ultra Fast Mathematician. Shapur was an extremely gifted student. He was great at everything including combinatorics, algebra, number theory, geometry, calculus, etc. He was not only smart but extraordinarily fast. He could manage to sum 10 to the power of 18th number in a single second. One day, in 230 AD, Shapur was trying to find out if anyone can possibly do calculations faster than him. As a result, he made a very great contest and asked everyone to come and take part. In his contest, he gave the contestants many different pairs of numbers. Each number is made from digits 0 or 1. The contestants should write a new number corresponding to the given pair of numbers. The rule is simple. The ith digit of the answer is 1 if and only if the ith digit of the two given numbers differ. In the other case, the ith digit of the answer is 0. Shapur made many numbers and first tried his own speed. He saw that he can perform these operations on numbers of length infinity. Length of a number is number of digits in it. In a glance. He always gives correct answers, so he expects the contestants to give the correct answers too. He's a good fellow, so he won't give anyone very big numbers, and he always gives one person numbers of same length. Now you are going to take part in Shapur's contest. See if you are faster and more accurate. Input. There are 2 lines in each input. Each of them contains a single number. It is guaranteed that the numbers are made from 0 and 1, only in that their length is same. The numbers may start with 0. The length of each number doesn't exceed 100. Output. Write one line, the corresponding answer. Do not omit the leading zeros. Okay. So, what we need to do is, I think, pretty understandable. So we get 2 inputs. Let's just go through the first example. We get 2 inputs, these numbers in a binary format, and here it's written, the ith digit of the answer is 1 if and only if the ith digit of the 2 given numbers differ. Let's go from front to the back at these numbers. So 1 and 0, they differ from each other. So the output there is a 1. 0 and 1 differ, so it's 1. 1, 0 differ, so it's 1. 0, 0 are the same, so it's 0. 1, 1 are the same, so it's a 0. 0, 0 are the same, so it's a 0. And 0 and 1 differ, so it's 1. Let's go to write our Pytest for this problem. We'll start with defining our function that will later on, and this function will take 2 inputs, input 1 and input 2. And at the moment we just return false. Now let's go for test example 1. At Pytest it's important to name your test functions always starting with test, that Pytest can automatically find them for invoking them. Here we have our input 1, that is this, and we take it as a string because we'll read it in as a string, and input 2, that is this, and we have our result that we get by invoking the function with input 1 and input 2. And we assert that our result is equal to the output. So let's go for the other examples. If you are copying, don't forget to rename your test functions, otherwise it's just one that will be shown. Okay, so now here we have our test examples. Let's see if Pytest is working correctly. So we get 4 failed test examples. This is good because we get always a false by our function, and this should be the results. But we see that Pytest is working. Now let's implement our function. First of all, we start with an empty list. This empty list will contain our answer. We will see soon that it's easy to work here with the list, because we go through every position of our answer and will append the result. Next, we will go step by step through our input. So therefore we take a for loop, and we take here a special for loop with enumerate. I will show you why. So first of all, what is enumerate in here and why don't we use arrange? Enumerate is a method that adds a counter to an iterable and returns it. So what we do here, we want to iterate through input 1. So we want to go step by step through every single character in the string. And to get the number where we are at the moment, so the index of the input, we take the enumerate and get our number with I here. We now will check if x is equal to input 2 of I. We get with the x, we get, as you can see here, the string. So we get the character of the string or the substring string. And this is the integer, so is the index. And that means we check if the first character we get here is equal to the first character of input 2. If that's true, then we will append 0 to our answer, because we've seen here the ith digit of the answer is 1 if and only if the ith digit of the two given numbers differ. In the other case, the ith digit of the answer is 0. So this is the other case. And if they differ, then we add an 1. And what we return here is a string where we will join our answer. Because answer is a list, but we can easily make it to a string that we can compare it in our results. So let's go and do Pytest once again, and we see that we get 4 correct past answers. This is good. And now we'll go to codeforce.com and we'll submit our solution to check if everything is alright. As always, we have to adapt a few things. Let me just say that our result is this, and we will print our result. Because we can't return any answer, we need to print it out. Then we have to read in the two inputs. So input 1 is input and input 2 is input. So we read in the inputs as strings. We don't have to transform them into another value. And I think this should be it. Let's submit it, and we can see that it was accepted. So this was successful. Maybe let's go back to the code once again, just look at the interesting parts. The first, in my point of view, is the enumerate part. How I said, the enumerate method adds a counter to an iterable and returns it. So we don't just get the char of input 1, the 0 or the 1, we get a counter with it. Here the I, so always the first one is the counter. Then the other thing is this here, so joining something to a string to transform it to a string. So here a list, and all elements of the list will be added to this string. And that's it. If you have any questions, any comments on this, just let me know. Write me a comment. If you like this video, I would appreciate if you give me a thumb up. If you don't want to miss any videos, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you at the next video. Goodbye.